Hey, what's up guys? John here. Gavin Newsom has a plan to put the entire state of California in universal basic income over the next couple of years.
California announced $25 million in funding to underwrite the first state-funded guaranteed income pilot program.
Universal basic income, which by no means is novel. It's been advocated over the course of not just decades, but over centuries as a strategy and solution to address stability.
And many people aren't aware of this. I think it's going to have a massive impact on property values, the entire economy. I believe what's ultimately going to happen is we're going to start to see an erosion of living standards happen in California to the likes of which you can't imagine. I'm going to show you with verifiable facts what's going to happen in California, and this is going to spread nationwide. 100% this is going to spread nationwide. It's already starting. Please hit the like button. When you hit the like button, YouTube's going to share this content to educate other people about what's really going on. And if you'd like to fix your credit, we'd love to help you at my company, GreatCreditFast.com. That's GreatCreditFast.com. If you have late payments, medical bills, charge-offs, foreclosures, bankruptcies, repossessions, any negative item on your credit report, go to GreatCreditFast.com by clicking the link below in the description to schedule a free strategy session. Take a look at this. So, Gavin Newsom, you know, he was related to someone named Jerry Brown. Jerry Brown was the former mayor of California from 2011 to 2019. Very interesting, right? Well, Gavin Newsom was also a young global leader. He was a young global leader. 2006 this came out. Now, what is a young global leader? Young global leader is World Economic Forum, right? So World Economic Forum, Jerry Brown, Gavin Newsom, you start to look at how big this picture really is. And then you start to see, yeah, they say that universal basic income is the answer to inequalities exposed by 19. So here's what's going on now. Now Newsom approves minimum wage workers for healthcare, right? He wants to increase minimum wage to $25. Now many people say, John, the cost of living is extremely expensive. They need more money. And I agree. California is extremely expensive. Gas is expensive. Food's expensive. Rent's expensive. Everything is expensive. I fully agree. We're on the same page. But look at what's actually happening. So state healthcare workers gain the $25 minimum wage, right? Newsom signing the law means that more technicians, nursing assistants, custodians, and other support staff will see gradual wage hike that rolls out starting next year. He got behind the law on the same day that the unions representing lower paid Kaiser Permanente employees announced a new contract with $25 minimum wage for healthcare giant in California. Now look at what's happening with Kaiser. This is on Kaiser's website. The work towards reaching zero emissions, which means reducing greenhouse gas emissions to as close to zero as possible, will go beyond removing carbon from our energy and direct greenhouse gas emissions. Kaiser Permanente will effectively aim to address greenhouse gas emissions created from purchased goods, services, investments, business-related travel, and transportation, waste, and employee commuting. Now, what does this really mean? It means that the entire healthcare system is about to go through a very, very, very big change. Here's what it's going to look like. And this is referencing the same article, right? Or a different article, same entity. So, medicine 2030, goodbye hospital, hello home, Spital. However, when I look towards the future, I see a very different trajectory. Who needs a hospital when you can prevent or treat conditions from comfort of your own home? The global burden of disease is largely vascular, with heart attacks and strokes the biggest cause of death around the world and therefore preventable. With better understanding of risk factors, rates of traumatic injury are falling and will continue to decline as we introduce driverless cars, robotic workers for risky tasks, and really 80 is the new 60 with all the regenerative options on the horizon. By 2030, the very nature of disease will be further disrupted by technology, so disrupted, in fact, that we might have a whole lot fewer diseases to manage. The fourth industrial revolution will ensure that humans live longer and healthier lives, so that hospitals of the future will become more like the NASCAR pit stops rather than inescapable black holes. You will go to a hospital to be patched up and put back on the track. Some hospital practices might even go away completely, and the need for hospitalization will disappear. Not by 2030, but soon after that. So they're already getting in the motion. They're already in the motion to start to transition the entire healthcare sector. So increasing wages, putting more pressure financially on these hospitals, you're going to start seeing more and more and more layoffs and a movement towards this. But if you look at what's happening here, California fast food workers, they're going to get this $20 minimum wage under a new deal between labor and the industry, right? This just passed a month ago. So most fast food workers in California would get $20 minimum wage next year, a nearly $5 per hour raise under the deal announced Monday between labor unions and the industry that will avoid a costly referendum on the November 2024 ballot. The mandatory raise would apply to all fast food restaurants in California that are part of a chain with at least 60 nationwide, 16 locations nationwide. It does not apply to restaurants where they operate that as a bakery or sell bread or standalone menu, right? So all the chains. And so what are chains doing? Well, bro, just pay them more. Internet in disbelief as White Castle and Chipotle are spending 500 grand a month on robotics. That's what the chains are going to do. They have the money, they have the infrastructure. So if they can start to push out their unneeded cost of $20 per hour on all of these unreliable employees, what are they going to do? They're going to make a more profitable business, right? And they're going to be able to undercut mom and pops. All of this is going to do is just going to push more and more and more people towards a universal basic income, which is what's already happening now. California cities that offer guaranteed income programs, amounts required, and eligibility. So look at these locations. You have Bay Area, $600 a month. LA, $1,000 per month. Another $1,000 per month. Santa Clara County, $1,000 per month for 24 months. Stockton, $500 a month, 24 months. Alameda County, $1,500, $1,000. El Monte, $500. LA, $700. Sacramento, Marin County, Mountain View, San Francisco, 3 programs. San Mateo, Santa Clara, Santa Cruz, Sonoma, right? So you start to look at all these different locations. They're pushing UBI out all across the state, And so they're attacking these industries. They're not helping them. And just like they said with mom and pop landlords, they said, don't worry, we got your back. We're going to take care of you. Look at what's happening. Corporate landlords in California, buying spree, alarms tenants, I only earn enough to pay rent. They're making it a paradise for large corporate landlords. And they're stripping away the ability for mom and pops to stay in business. Here's a good example of that. Blackstone. They bought 66 relatively low rent apartment buildings in San Diego County from a charitable foundation. Tenants of those 5,800 dwellings say that they see rent increases, maintenance issues, and evictions on their futures. A tenant whose rent rose from $200 to $2,000 a month after Blackstone bought her building shared how she was told that she was responsible for mold remediation of her unit, large swaths of dark mold outside the building, on walls and window ledges, climbing the roof line. In response to Blackstone buying up affordable housing units, the Senate president said that major concerns, especially as the company is raising rents, right? Unlike many of our mom and pop property owners who themselves may be trying to stay afloat in today's economy, Blackstone is a huge company that should not be building its portfolio on the backs of Californians. That's what they're going to be doing. Because as these mortgage costs continue to rise and these landlords get pushed into a bind, what are they going to do? They're going to be forced to sell their properties. They're going to be forced to sell them, especially, California had an eviction moratorium for 3 years. For 3 years. And what happened? What happened in California's eviction moratorium? Well, they issued a bunch of new tenant protections, which they're not good for the mom and pop landlord. Everybody knows that. But it's great for these large corporations, because these large corporations, they can then prey on the weakness of the mom and pop landlords. Here's an example of that. California to limit security deposits for 1 month under the new law. So no first month, last month deposit. It's just first month and deposit. And remember, California said they were going to pay everybody's back rent. Don't worry about it. There's a pandemic going on. We have to pay everybody's back rent. Tenants, if you can't afford it, don't worry about it. California's going to come through. Well, here's what actually happened. California roars back. Governor Newsom highlights the nation's largest rent relief program, announces over $1 billion in rental assistance, right? They announce it. They didn't deliver it. In fact, they went on, if you just look how much back rent did California pay, you scroll down here, they made promises in the billions, but nothing ever happened, right? California has a $5.2 billion plan to pay off unpaid rent accrued. This is 2021, right? We're approaching 3 years. We're approaching 3 years, 2.5 years on this article. They didn't pay anything like they said they were going to pay. So if you look at what they're doing, they're attacking the healthcare industry. They're attacking the fast food industry. They're going to start to say that everybody needs more money, but the small business owner and the business owner can't afford to pay it right now. Everything is extremely expensive. Taxes are through the roof in California. They're putting this pressure on the economy that can't be supported. And so what's going to ultimately happen? They're going to say that universal basic income is the only answer. They're going to increase taxes to fund it. And how's that going to work? You're just going to see more and more businesses fold under this pressure. So when I look at California properties, residential market, commercial market, I look at what's actually happening in the real estate industry. Nobody's going to be able to afford this when you see the wreckage that's coming for that state. It's unbelievable. It's absolutely crazy, but this is the new normal. People need to get prepared for it. They need to really pay very close attention. Whenever Newsom or anyone comes out saying, we're here for the people, we're here to help you, just remember, 99% of the time, it's alligator tears. They don't really care. The more the people are dependent on You know, the higher ups, the more authority and control that they have, right? And this is what we're walking into. This is what the entire state of California is positioning on that 40 million people, right? You have 40 million people right now, many of which are living paycheck to paycheck. They're absolutely struggling and they're looking to blame somebody. And so when you see all these headlines that, oh, we're here to help, we're here to do all these different things, just remember, the last 3 years, they've only been great for the rich. They have not been great for the 99%. And that's exactly what California is. California, for the most part, it's not a bunch of very wealthy people. There's some wealthy people at the top, sure, but most of the people in California are struggling. And when they say that they're going to increase wages and they're going to do all these things, most people think that's a great thing. But just look at California's history. Look at the government's history in California. When has that ever happened? When have they ever really helped the people? Never. Not that I can ever point to. Can you? Drop it below. Let's have a conversation about it. If you'd like to fix your credit, we'd love to help you at my company, GreatCreditFast.com. That's GreatCreditFast.com. If you have late payments, medical bills, charge-offs, foreclosures, bankruptcies, repossessions, any negative item on your credit report, go to GreatCreditFast.com. We're stepping into a massive wealth transfer. And my belief is we're going to see a lot of people forced to sell single-family homes, duplexes, triplexes, fourplexes. A lot of mom and pops hold that inventory. And due to what's happening in states like California and many other locations all throughout America, you're going to see a lot of these people forced to sell. It's unfortunate, but somebody's going to buy them. It's going to be either renters turned investors or Blackstone and all these other large corporations looking to seize the opportunity that's about to happen and about to unfold all across America. Catch you guys in the next video.